Hey folks, I'm Red Monster SC, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the Drake Golem, the new entry-level mining vehicle that's bringing resource extraction to the masses. We're going to be covering what the ship is and what it can do, how it compares versus the Prospector, my outfitting recommendations to help you get the most out of this nimble starter ship, as well as my overall thoughts after having put it through its paces over a couple of mining sessions. Now before I dive into the details, if you enjoy this video, if it helps you out, or if you learned something, hit that like button. Also, leave a comment for the sake of engagement, even if it's something simple like,
Great analysis, Red.
if you want to see more great content like this, hit that subscribe button and toggle that notification bell to get alerts anytime a new video is uploaded. And catch my live streams over at twitch.tv/redmonstersc, where I put these ships through their paces live. Now as far as what the Drake Golem is and what it can do, it is an entry-level mining vehicle, and the price shows that. You can pledge for one on the store right now as a standalone package for $60 US, or you can get it with a game package for $75. There are also war bond discounts if you're not using store credit for $55 standalone and $67.50 for an LTI game package. Now that's a really great deal, especially if you wanted to get in and try mining out without having to spend a minimum of $155. Now the Golem has 32 SCU capacity for raw ore, courtesy of the two bespoke 16 SCU ore pods. Those are new for the Drake Golem and a unique design. Now the Drake Golem also features a bespoke Pitman mining laser. This cannot be swapped out, but it has some interesting stats to make it a contender on the entry level, with an additional 2 module slots that help bring some flexibility into your loadout. First off is the power output, which is rivaling the Helix at the top end of the power output scale. It also has the benefit of a 40% increased optimal charge window, which is going to be a lot more forgiving for newcoming miners who are still getting the power management game as you increase or decrease that power charge level into the optimal charge window. There's a 35% instability increase, so you're going to see that charge level bounce a little bit higher back and forth, as well as a 25% resistance increase, which may affect the top end of the rock sizes that you're able to break. Now there are 2 module slots which you can choose to outfit however you'd like to bring in flexibility. If you're a comfortable miner or if you're new, there are options. The ship has no interior, but it does include a small amount of personal cargo space that you're able to store and retrieve gadgets and potentially other devices, a multi-tool, things of that nature. I found that its mining capabilities were similar to that as a solo Prospector, and you can break rocks up to about 15,000 mass with the Surge module, and push that even a little bit further if you're using the attachable gadgets on that first break. I found that the ship was very nimble for flight characteristics, making it easy to bounce between rocks in a cluster, or back and forth in the asteroid field, tracking down additional mining targets. As far as how the Drake Golem compares to the MISC Prospector, we see that the mining laser for the Drake Golem is the Pitman, which is locked in place. You're not able to swap it out, compared to the base Arbor, which can be swapped on the Prospector. The Drake Golem has 2 module slots for that laser, where the MISC Prospector module slots depend on which laser you have outfitted, ranging from 0 to 2 in the size 1 capacity. For ore capacity, both ships start with a 32 SCU of raw ore, with the Prospector having the option to increase up to 48 plus if you swap in the mole pods, and there are some current exploits to increase that even further. The Drake Golem has no interior, where the MISC Prospector has some basic amenities plus a bed. Both ships use the Goliath Quantum Drive, although the Drake Golem only has a 0.95 SCU quantum fuel capacity compared to the MISC Prospector, which is nearly double that. The Drake Golem has 2 size 1 weapons and 2 size 1 missiles, compared to the Prospector's 2 size 1 weapons without a missile loadout. But to be realistic, if you're in a situation where either of these ships is in a dogfight, your best option is to run away, otherwise you're probably going to die. The Drake Golem pledge price is $60 US compared to the MISC Prospector's $155 US, so a much better value there. And the in-game price we don't yet know for the Drake Golem, but the Prospector comes in at a 2.9 million, and I would expect the Drake Golem to come in right around the 1 million AUEC mark once it's available in-game in the next few months. As far as my recommended outfitting, I would devote one of your module slots to the Surge. This is an active module that once activated provides a 50% increased laser power. That's been the biggest restriction for solo operators using the size 1 laser. You'll find a lot of rocks that you can't break normally, but that surge will help you get through a little bit higher mass. For your second module slot, one of two options stands out. First is the Rieger C3, which gives a 25% power boost passively and increases your mining capabilities long term, or the Focus 3, which increases the optimal charge window by another 40%, which can be very helpful to combat the instability that the Pitman laser provides. As far as gadgets, the Sabir gadget provides a 50% resistance reduction and a 50% wider optimal window, which I think is pretty useful for the first breaks, and that's where you really want to bring a gadget in anyways. If I have one criticism of the Drake Golem, it's this. Why did you reinvent the ore pods? These new 16 SCU pods are bespoke to the Drake Golem and entirely new, where you could have just used the standard 8 SCU sized pods with 4 of them in a line. You don't need to reinvent a system that you already have, especially when that current system has issues pulling the pods up through the elevator and clipping through the floor. This adds complexity to the refining ships in the future, which now have to support an additional interface with this bespoke mining ore pod. And my overall thoughts about the Drake Golem is that it's a very capable solo miner. It's very nimble, quick, and maneuverable, which is crucial for jetting between rocks in a cluster or an asteroid field. The 2 module slots provide enough flexibility to be useful for a solo operator or someone supporting a larger group, and it's useful for experienced miners that don't mind a few restrictions. I think overall it's a great starting ship for a new player that wants to mine without suffering through too many restrictions, and by the way, if this is your first ship purchase, make sure to use my referral code in the description. And yes, I would absolutely recommend the Drake Golem if you're interested in Star Citizen and want to start off with mining. And with that, let's hear what your thoughts are after giving the Drake Golem a try. Are you happy with the Pitman mining laser, and do you think that it's flexible enough? And are you excited to see more industrial ships that are more affordable? Let's hear the thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time.